Here we are in Reason 12, and let's start with our bass by choosing a bass instrument like Reason Electric Bass, and then putting the Reason Studio's Bassline Generator player on top of it. Then reset the device, and as you can see, there is this diamond-shaped dialog where you can blend the amount on on-beat and off-beat notes to generate the bass line down here. This stuff is already super funky to me. The beauty of this player is that there is this randomize button where you can find and stumble upon incredible bass lines. I just came across this incredibly good automatically generated bass line. And we will use this one for the main riff. But you can also manually adjust your bass lines by writing new notes, changing their velocity and moving them along the piano roll, like this one I just made. Much simpler, but that will fit our intro. Let's add some drums. Reason drum kits. With a player on top, we just kick and clap. Let's add a little bit of reverb and echo to the drums. Let's manually write another bass line. And change the tempo to 122. Adding some funky guitars. Let's put an amp wah to the guitars to make them sound a little crispier. And our intro is done. Alright, enough exploring. Now we need some nice disco pop chords. Okay, but we want to get funkier and future funkier, so we need another instruments to play those chords, and Layers just does the job. Now we need some new drums with a new player. I copy the chords from the piano or Layers to the bass line and remove everything on top, the very last one. And with some minor adjustment, single note will modulate the bass line played by the Bassline Generator. And this is how it sounds all together. Isn't it a beauty to see those notes that have been generated by this algorithm? How long would it take me to write and polish such a crunchy bass line without the help of this player? Alright, it's time to get even more future funky. And to do that we have to go to the parts of the main ancestor of this genre, which is the French house of the early noughties. And to do so, we bring a Mimic Creative Sampler into the picture, reset the device, and then we will sample the loop we just made. Okay, let's go to slice mode. Let's reduce the sensitivity. And let's put a filter, a low pass filter. Let's bring it to the top. We will drag on it. Let's squeeze to have a little bit of compression, and I think we're done. Sounds good, but let's widen the sound of this sampler by putting on a little haze effect by setting a delay with a very short, like 14 milliseconds, and put the master out to the output of this, and like doing like this, so we will have a wider sound. Here is our new loop made with the Mimic sampler, and let's automate this frequency of the low pass filter by going from almost minimum to the maximum in a straight line for all the duration of the first 8 bars. And I think it's time for a new bass line for this new loop we just made, and we will use the subtractor for the bass line, which is still, to me, the best synth bass on planet Earth. So let's grab another instance of the Bassline Generator, and since the Bassline Generator comes with a lot of preset patches and we're doing something related to disco, let's try this disco bounce, which is very good. And we will just write another couple of bassline, manually write them in order to fit the last few bars of our loop. We can go for something shorter, let's say a regular 32 steps bassline, and something about 45 maybe on the on beat, and 36 maybe on this one. Add some variator to this, and let's see. Like that. And then a third, which will be for the very last bar. So let's put a 16 every beat, like this, and like this, and like this. Very simple. Maybe a little longer. Alright. Okay, let's give some love to this subtractor by putting some pulverizer demolition on it in order to make it sound more powerful. Alright, and the Bassline Generator has a nice feature on its back. There are these random CV out that can follow the bass line, and we can connect them to the resonance filter of the subtractor in order to have some variation following the bass line. And then we can have our little French house loop. And when I mean French house, I mean French house. Alright, let's resume the first loop with just doubling the poly 7 layers with the drums from the intro, and then we can double this one more time, and then on the master section writing fade off. And I think we're done. I hope you enjoyed this little video. See you next time.